Welcome to another episode
Next episode.
of the Thought Exchange Cafe. Exchange Cafe. Exchange Cafe.
You're tuned into the cafe of the mind, where thoughts are brewed and souls unwind. The air is rich with dreams so fine. We pour our hearts in every line. The whispers dance like light through trees, a melody that sets us free. Welcome to Thought Exchange, where ideas flow and minds array. A place where word will never fade. In this cafe, we're unafraid. Greetings, and welcome to another episode coming to you from the Thought Exchange Cafe. My name is Tony Davis, and I am your host. And first, I'd like to say to you, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all the subscribers, and thank you to all those that decided to follow me on this platform and to tune into the Thought Exchange Cafe. Because here at the Thought Exchange Cafe, we bring you educational, motivational, inspirational content, as well as information that may help you to eliminate some of your fears. We cannot help you eliminate all of your fears because some of that is a self doing where you would have to do for yourself because you would have to begin to believe and change your mindset. Once you begin to change your mindset, you change your life. But also, you begin to see things differently than what you was programmed to see. Because see, in growing up at a particular time, we watched people and we watched how people reacted to certain situations. We watched how people they either reacted or responded. And we begin to do the same thing. Why? Because we thought that it was the right thing to do. And that's why here at the Thought Exchange Cafe, we want to bring you some life changing information. We want you to begin to look at things differently because a lot of folks, including myself at one time, I was living and thinking and feeling in the past. And it became a loop where I kept living and thinking and feeling from those past emotions, from those past events in my life. And those past events in my life stayed with me for many, many years until I decided I had to make a change because things were not working. But also, there were other people that God had put in my presence to help me to overcome some of my fears, some of my doubts, and some of those worries that I had about the future, right? And I remember someone saying to me, your future is your now. Because if you don't do anything with your now, you're not going to have a future. So you got to change your mindset now in order to have a better living situation. And they wasn't talking about a living situation like living at home. No, they was talking about a living situation with living within self. They said begin to educate yourself more and to begin to educate yourself beyond what was taught to you in the classroom. Because see, in the classroom, they teach us practical information, but they also teach us information that some of us may never ever use. And once you leave the classroom and you get out into the real world and you begin to try to utilize some of those things you learned in the classroom, you become confused. And in that confusion comes doubt anger, fear, low self esteem, and so many of the other isms that we're aware of. And I say all that just to say that here at the Thought Exchange Cafe, with the people and the guests that's going to be coming in on the panel and having segments on the show, we're going to be talking about those life changing situations. We're going to be discussing how we got to the crossroads and didn't know what to do, but had to make a decision. Because once again, right, by not making a decision, you're still making a decision. Right now, we have Juneteenth upon us, and we also have Father's Day upon us. And I just want to say that Juneteenth is a celebration of freedom, or that's what it's supposed to be, a celebration of freedom. For some, it's a celebration of freedom. For the others, they look at it as something that is nonsense. But how could it be nonsense, right? When the facts and the receipts speak for themselves. How are you going to tell a people that that never happened? How are you going to tell a people that that was then and it's not now? So get over it, overcome it. Don't talk about it. But you go and you strip away everything. You strip away the books. You strip away the memorabilia. You take down pictures and monuments. Why is that? I don't think, for me, this is just my perspective. I don't think you're taking it away from us. I think you're taking it away from yourself. Why? Because every time you look at it, something happens to you on the inside, right? You feel a sense of urgency to get out. But you don't want to get out. You want others to get out. But how are we going to get out when we created everything that is used or utilized today? And guess what? We didn't have to go to school for 15 years to create something. It came to us naturally. And I say all that to say that we have to begin to recognize who we are, what we are, and the power that we have within us. You can take away whatever you want to take away, but you can't take away that which is in us, because that which is in us is in our DNA. Powerful, right? Yes, it is. So we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate not just ourselves in our present time, because even in this present time, right, where so many things were stripped away, that a lot of our youth, that next generation, may not have anything to look forward to. But I'm urging those out there that can make a difference, the leaders, the thought changers, the innovators, those that inspire and influence. Begin to inspire and influence for the next generation to come, because they're the ones that's going to be at the front lines. We have to begin to train them up now to see, because as the saying goes, once you see, you can't unsee. Once you hear, you can't unhear. Knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is power. And I want to say to the oracles out there, and you might say, what are you talking about, oracles? This ain't the Matrix. Yeah, it is the Matrix. But guess what? Neo had to go and find an oracle to find out his true power, to find out who he truly was, what was in him, he had to go to the oracle. And we have many oracles in our communities. And you have oracles within your home, your mother, your father, your aunt, your uncle, your grandmother, if they're still present. And if they're not, you still have oracles all around you that can teach you something, that can help to open up your eyes, but also to help you to close your mouth and listen more. Because as they say, you have one mouth to speak with and two ears to hear. And our job is to observe. Our job is not to react, but to observe and respond. This is a time of coming together. This is a time of uniting. Uniting for those freedoms that were fought for. Uniting for them freedoms that people gave their lives for. The marches wasn't just for fun because they didn't have nothing else to do or they were crowd chasers or clout chasers. No, they were chasing freedom of rights. And many of them didn't come back. On this Juneteenth, celebrate. And not just celebrate, but open up the hearts and minds for others to be able to understand who fought. Because that is no longer being taught in our school systems. No, it's not. And it's hard to teach it in the home by the parents because the kids have been somewhat sideswiped, hoodwinked. Oh, yeah. And also, working 2 jobs and sometimes 3. Don't have the time to sit with your children. Because I, for one, didn't have time to sit with mine. But the best thing that we can do, and then once again, this is just my perspective, create some time. Because we have to right now. As a friend of mine says, time is currency. But also, time is a great asset. And for every generation, there's 3 things. And once again, this is just my perspective. We have dependency when we're born. And then we become dependent as we become adults. But we're always going to be interdependent on someone or something. And who best to be interdependent upon other than those who are here and who have traveled those roads and climbed those mountains and traveled through those valleys that you're going to that you have to climb. Those valleys that you got to walk through, and some of them are very dark. Allow someone else to teach you how to feel your way until you can see. This Juneteenth, once again, celebrate. However, we're going to celebrate a new beginning. Yes, we can look back, but we can't allow that which is in the back to become our present. We have to take that and allow that to be education, right? To move us forward. There's a saying that says that education is not for the learning of facts, but for the training of the mind to think. We're in a particular time right now where they don't want your mind to think. There's been other things that have been put in place in order to shrink your mental muscle. And I'll just say that because we know what those factors are. Depend more on you figuring it out than allowing something to figure it out for you. And to the fathers, happy Father's Day to all those fathers. Some of the fathers may not be celebrated or even thought about. But I'm going to say this to you. Your hard work is not in vain. Continue to be that father that you know that you are and that you can be. And just because the others may not see it, guess what? The universe sees it. And the universe is going to pay it forward. Continue to strive for better. You don't have to do a whole lot of talking, but let others see your actions, because your actions is going to speak louder than words. And once again, fathers, happy Father's Day to you. You're hardworking. You're dedicated, patient, positive, and persistent, knowing that we have an opportunity. And others may not see it, and others may not want to see it. But it's okay, as long as we know in our hearts that we did all that we can do and we did the best that we could do. Celebrate yourself this Father's Day. Celebrate your milestones. Celebrate not putting on them track shoes as we once did. Now we stand tall, we stand firm. My name is Tony Davis, coming to you from the Thought Exchange Cafe podcast. And if this message resonated with anyone, share it. Pass it along. Support the channel. Tune in. Also, if you would like to be part of the Thought Exchange Cafe, you like to come in and have a conversation, as long as it's educational, motivational, inspirational, and it can eliminate some of the other people's fears, I welcome you. My information will be in the bio. Reach out, and I'll reach back out to you, because the time is now. The time is now to use these platforms to spread generational wealth. And I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about that mental generational wealth, that emotional generational wealth, because emotional intelligence is out the window. So many people are reacting instead of thinking, slowing down, and asking themselves the question, if I react, what's going to be the end result? If I respond, what's going to be the end result? Until next time, stay positive, persistent, and patient. And once again, happy Juneteenth and happy Father's Day to all the fathers. But I'd like to say to those single mothers just as well, too, you're doing an amazing job. And if there is a man around, allow the man to be a man. And you continue to be that queen that you are. Peace and blessings until I see you again. God bless.